Good morning. Pin a comment and we'll be good to go. Swell, how are you? Always a pleasure to have you. Hide and go seek, how are you? T. Filippo, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Can you hear the fan, or am I clear? So am I clear? No background noise? All right, perfect. Thank you. So we're waiting on her to come in. She just called me, so we should be good. Thank you. So let's just give a update on where you are from. Swell, where are you from? Hide and go seek, where are you from? Filippo, where you're from? Let me see if I can pull her in here. I wonder if Minneapolis, North Carolina, I wonder if she knows to get on a live. Can someone send her a message? Tell her, hide and go seek. Can you send her a message, say, hop on the live? So here in New York, it's hot, super hot. I have a form, and the storm that came in last week killed most of my veggies. Well, not most of the veggies, killed the tomatoes. They got really filled with water and exploded. And everything else actually looks great. Hello, here she is. How are you? Hello.
Hey, sorry about that. I lost internet connectivity there for a second.
That's fine. You're good to go now.
How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be here and to finally meet you.
It's a pleasure. We've been working on this for a little while.
I think so. And then COVID hit.
Exactly. Yep. So the way it works is you're gonna give a really short introduction, just name, location. Then we get into some questions. Then I give you the floor so you can tell us your journey and how you got into doing what you do.
Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, my name is Rachel Fletcher. I am the founder of Knox Upholstery here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I am a furniture upholstery person. Some people call us a rag stretcher. I don't know if I like that term so much because I think I'm a little more creative than that. But yeah, I like to focus on individual homes, your chairs and your sofas. So that's what I do.
All right, cool. So let's hop into the questions.
Bring it.
What makes you tick?
What makes me tick? Gosh, a challenge makes me tick. Especially in furniture upholstery, it's not just like, as I said, throwing fabric on a chair. It's the small nuances that are the big challenges, and that's what I like.
Okay. What irks you the most?
Oh gosh, what irks me the most? I don't know if I want to answer that. I think it would be people who don't listen and people who don't have patience. Those two things just like, whew, drive me up a wall.
What word or phrase do you overuse?
Awesome. I love the word awesome.
What is your least favorite thing to do?
I think it would be, I have a hard time relaxing. I have to always be constantly doing something.
Okay. What is your most favorite thing to do?
My most favorite thing to do as a hobby, it would be playing video games.
Okay. What kind of video games?
I like first-person shooters.
What is the one thing you would change about your spouse or significant other?
Ooh, I'm not going to answer that. Nope.
You know, people always run to the fumble of that question as opposed to saying, you know what, I wouldn't change anything. But when they say, oh, I'm not answering that, that means that there's a lot of stuff on the other side of that.
Yeah, we're just going to file that away and put that on the bookshelf. So.
Okay, what will your spouse or significant other change about you?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question too, man. No, probably to chill out a little bit more. I can be pretty out there and in your face. So.
Okay. What sound bothers you the most?
What bothers me the most? What sound bothers me the most? Man, probably your classical, like the fingernails on a chalkboard. That just does me in.
Okay. What's your favorite cuss word?
Fuck.
What profession other than your own would you like to apply?
Photography. I do more photography.
But you do that, right?
I used to do it, but I've been, into the upholstery world for a while. So, yeah.
When you post pics, do you not take the pictures?
I do, yes.
Or would you not? That's not the photography you're talking about.
Correct. Yeah, I'm actually like talking with the big camera, the big lenses, that type of photography.
Okay. What would you like on your tombstone?
I don't want a tombstone. I want to be thrown to, scattered to the wind. So nothing on my tombstone.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the ground. I don't want to take up, any acreage.
And then move you 100 years later.
Yes, exactly.
What is it about your personality that drives your business?
I don't know. I try to be really open and honest with all of my clients to let them know what's going on and what I think about their fabric choices or the design of a chair. So maybe that's what people, are drawn to me for.
Okay. What is it about your personality that hinders your business?
Gosh, I put up a lot of hurdles. People have to jump through hurdles to get to work with me. And that's basically to I don't like tire kickers because I feel like sometimes they just take up too much of my time. If I'm not, if I'm answering emails or if I'm on the phone, I'm not actually working on upholstery and I'm not making money.
Yeah, I get a lot of that. A lot. And for what I do, there are a lot of people, there's a decent amount of money involved. So there's a lot of people who want as much research as possible, not from them doing it, from talking to me. And they're willing to drive a couple of hours just to get the information. So I'll have people take a 2-hour drive with no intent to spend any money. Yeah. And would talk to me all day long about how to do what they want to do minus my cost.
Yes. I feel you.
Who would you travel cross country with on a motorcycle?
Well, okay. So like what maybe my,
It's your Wi-Fi.
oh, can you see me?
I got you.
Okay. I was going to say this probably ties back into what my spouse would say about me to change me is that I am a bit of a control freak. So I'd have to take the reins on the motorcycle and I don't really care who's behind me.
Just follow.
Yes, just follow.
What was your favorite concert?
Oh gosh, Prince. I was in the second row at a Prince show in St. Louis. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. A lot of energy in that little pint-sized body.
Yep. Do you have any childhood nicknames?
Chooch and Fletch.
Right. When was the last time you cried?
I don't know. It's been a while. I'm probably overdue for one. So maybe this weekend in the shower.
What impact do you want to leave on your industry?
I want to leave the industry better than it currently is. I think it's the impact I really want to leave is that like all shops can work together in a better way and without, competing with each other. That's a big problem in our industry, and I'd love to get that changed.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, one of the first, the people who helped me launch this were, I guess, my competition, my peers. And I remember Ben from Chef to Table saying that we've been doing this and known each other for how long, and we actually only bid on the same job once.
Wow.
And it was a job neither one of us wanted. So you're right, and we should look to work together more to get further than everyone is in their own little bubble.
Yes.
When was the most difficult time for your business, and how did you overcome?
I think the most difficult time would be when I first started, honestly, because no one knew who the hell I was here in Knoxville. And it was hard. I created a website and I just basically sat in my garage twiddling my thumbs, waiting for, a phone call. And so that was difficult, especially since I had made the decision to quit a secure job and jump into, not having anything. So that was probably the most difficult. And as far as getting through it, it was just time, just waiting. That website acted as a fishing net and to bring in clients.
Okay, this is something I usually ask my peers, but it doesn't. We're gonna flip it. The question is, do you have any Black friends? I know you do, and it's different for us because we are not putting ourselves in bubbles with people that look like us and only do business with people that look like us. So we kind of, and I don't think a large, decent of our population is even interested in that anyway. So I asked that as a question to give people an opportunity to think, how many Black friends do you have?
Yes. And especially, I find, the area that I grew up, it was mostly a white neighborhood, white schools. I went to a white college mostly. And yeah, I've always been kind of like sometimes that token Black friend, and so, yeah, who are your token Black friends? If you're a white person or someone else, is your friend group all the same?
Yep. And I think with that, we could break a lot of barriers because when people are your friends, you care about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you often see people of color in your industry?
Not as often as I would like, that's for sure. Especially Black women. There was a fabric rep here a couple of years ago, and he walked in the door and he literally said out loud, "Oh my gosh, you're a unicorn," because he had not seen someone like me in the upholstery business. So yeah, we're few and far between.
How can we change that?
I'm hoping that a trade association like I'm president of will help to change that. outreach. I'm trying to also connect with other people that I see online. Like if I see that you're a Black upholsterer, I am on you, trying to bring you into the fold. And if anyone is watching me and have not seen you, hit me up. I want to talk to you.
Who would you most like to have a conversation with?
Ida B. Wells. Ida B. Wells. She was a Black suffragist and feminist, and I would love to just pick her brain.
Would you travel to the moon?
Absolutely.
What was your best business move?
Staying in business. I think not giving up. I very well could have done that in the beginning, but I've been going at this for about 11 years, and I think it's just continuously growing and learning. And man, learn from your mistakes because you're going to make them along the way. I know I've made them.
Yeah, I have a hard time doing that.
What, learning from your mistakes? Yeah. They're so important, though. They're vital.
They are. What was your worst business move?
My worst business move. Probably not asking for funding earlier.
Why didn't you? Why do you think you didn't?
I wanted to do it all on my own, pretty much. That's, again, that control freak in me. I was like, I can do this by myself. But no, man, you need funding.
You need help.
Yeah.
And the same way, the same way with me, right? If you don't, we don't have a point of reference to go to where people say, hey, you're going to need help doing this. The help is available, so get it. I think when I was doing this, I was trying to do it all alone and not realizing that it takes a lot longer and it makes it so much harder. So this other thing I realized when I had to move my yard, and it was 45, 50 tractor trailer loads from one place to the other. And it was to a cheaper yard, it was further away, but it was to a much better place. And I'm thinking, how am I going to be able to do this when I don't have the money?
Mm-hmm.
So I called this company, we set up an account, and they got 30-day payments. And I'm like, there you go. But before, I had never done business like that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's how a lot of business float each other.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you don't know and you haven't been taught and you're not aware, you're completely ignorant of that.
Yeah, what you don't know until someone tells you.
What advice would you give to someone starting out?
Crack open a book. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And also learn to say no to those projects that are just not in your wheelhouse.
And clients.
Yes. Learn. Oh gosh, absolutely. Yeah.
There are, sometimes you'll take a job because you need revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not paying attention to the behavior of the client and your interactions, you may miss something that you should get that says, maybe this is not the client for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not a bad thing. Some people just don't mix.
Yeah, that's exactly how I work. Because I want to catch red flags on my clients, and I also want them to catch red flags for me. Because if we don't have a symbiotic relationship, the project's not going to go well. And there are plenty of other upholsterers that they might work better with, and I totally welcome that.
Do you have a mentor?
I have a bunch of mentors. I do. I have quite a few.
Yeah. Nailed it, upholstery. You're absolutely right. The soft cost of bad match client can destroy your margins and your morale. Yep.
Hey, Elizabeth. That's Elizabeth.
How many cities have you traveled to in the U.S.?
Uh, I couldn't tell you. I've traveled all over the place.
Have you been to every state?
I don't think every state, but nearly.
Okay. Do you have a passport?
I do.
Okay. So one last question. Would you consider your shop wine and cheese, beer and burger, or bread and water? My shop is bread and water.
So, whoa, I don't like the physical shop or the vibe that.
All of that.
So I would probably say that I like to portray that I'm wine and cheese. I might be more like beer and what'd you say, pretzels, beer and what?
Beer, burger.
Beer and burger. But I could also, I work from home, so maybe it's bread and water. So a little bit of everything.
Now, the upholsterer said your shop is whiskey.
Yes, yes.
Being in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that's it for our questions. Now we can get into your journey. So let's start it from high school.
Oh gosh, all the way back. So what do you want to know about
Where'd you go to high school? Where you from?
Okay, so wow, that sounds like a St. Louis thing. So I'm from St. Louis, and I went to Kirkwood High School. And if you're from the St. Louis area, everyone asks what high school you went to because it's a classist, city, really. But
Well,
yeah. So
I'm from New Orleans, and we say the same thing.
okay.
And Design Furniture, who just signed on, is in St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Right outside of St. Louis.
Wonderful. Yeah, I grew up in St. Louis, went to Kirkwood High School, graduated in '94, went off to college in Decatur, Illinois, a small little private university, and got my BA in communications.
And then what?
So I moved back home briefly, and I took up a job at the Riverfront Times, which was an alternative newspaper back then. I was doing their marketing and advertising and some other things there. But yeah, my background is basically marketing and advertising.
Okay. Now, you're in St. Louis, you're out of college, you do marketing and advertising. How long did you do that?
Well, really until I moved to Tennessee. I moved here in 2005-ish.
And why'd you
So I moved because I had met a boyfriend, and we moved here and we got married. So he took a job at the local university and I followed.
Okay. So he's now referred to as I got married. Can I get his number, please?
No.
Okay, so you met this boy. You and this boy traveled around. You're in Tennessee. He's at a university. And what are you doing?
So I moved here during the recession, and nobody was hiring marketing and advertising. Like everyone just pulled their money and put it into their back pocket, which is the last thing you need to do during a recession. But so I couldn't find any work anywhere. And so I've kind of bounced around doing really odd jobs. I worked at LA weight loss centers for a brief period of time. That was the craziest job I've ever had.
Why?
Whoa. The clients were great. The infrastructure at LA Weight Loss, which is why they are no longer in business, was insane. It was awful. It was awful. It was like working on Wall Street.
Someone had a great idea and didn't know anything about running a gym.
Yeah. It was. Whew. So yeah. Anyway, I was looking for work, and my husband was working at the University of Tennessee and in the theater department.
Okay.
Yeah, in the theater department. And so I got a job as a props assistant in the theater. And that is where I learned how to reupholster furniture.
Ah.
Yeah, so bizarre. Yeah.
So how does he feel about introducing you to your new career? Does he ever joke?
Um, he doesn't. No, no, no.
Right.
He's happy that I found the career that I did. Absolutely.
So when you became a props assistant, what did you do?
Oh, what did I not do? Seriously, anything and everything from, furniture upholstery, obviously, but like to anything that the actor is using on stage with their hands. So like any kind of books or any kind of weird, like falling over, like cake toppers, I anything and everything.
How did that lead into upholstery?
Um, so you can't just like when you're putting up a show, you can't just go to like your local furniture store and just pick up a chair and throw it on set, because it has to fit the actual
That's
show. Yes, it has to be appropriate, period appropriate. And so on campus there's a huge storage with all of these different frames from all sorts of different ages. And like a set designer would come through, here's some fabric, reupholster this chair, boom, it's on set.
So you were just forced into doing it because it needed to be done.
I wasn't forced to do it. But no, yeah, I mean, it was a need,
No,
absolutely.
let me tell you what I mean by forced. No one has a gun.
Right.
It has to be done. You are there, so
Yes.
you're kind of forced to do it.
Yeah, yeah. But I was also interested. My props master at the time, she actually does know how to upholster. She was taught by her props master. So she gave me the opportunity to, pull some fabric on some seats and staple it and see how it goes. And I just kind of progressed from there, doing button tufting on East Lake chairs. And it just kept, compounding.
So when you first started this, did it appear difficult? Did it appear easy? Was it like love at first sight? What were you thinking?
It was a little bit like love at first sight. It it was difficult too. I think it was more the transition from theater to real life upholstery, because in the theater you don't have to have springs in your chairs. You can just like cut a board and throw it over there and boom. So I think the more difficult thing was like learning how to upholster something correctly and not for the theater.
Right. So how long did you do that?
5 years?
Wow.
Yeah, about 5 years.
And at what point in that 5 years did you start upholstering? Like,
So I was what they call overhire at the theater. They just needed extra help. And so I was, doing that for 5 years, and the grant was coming to an end. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I don't know if I really want to get back into marketing, because I've got my hands onto some creative stuff. And so I took a temporary gig in an office in the development department on campus. And because I needed money, I got bills to pay. And, I was working, I'm back in like a suit and heels and, so anyway, I'm working and they offered me a full-time job and I just couldn't do it. So I said, no, thank you. I'm going to go home and start an upholstery business. And that's what I did.
and what did your husband think?
He was not happy about it. For obvious reasons. I mean, I just like quit like a job to, sit in my garage. So yeah. I'm sorry?
He was like, what the hell is you doing?
Pretty much.
So okay, so when you decided to make it a business, how much did you actually know about upholstery?
I knew enough that I could do it. I was confident enough to take the leap to do it. I knew more about upholstery than I did actually like running a business, I think. Because those are two completely different things.
Completely.
Yeah.
And you need to know both.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So what was your first paid job?
A zipper repair for a futon. I think I got paid $18 for it. Worst job ever, never do it again.
At one point along the journey, did you realize, okay, I can do this. This works. How long were you in your garage?
I'm still in my garage, actually. I really like working from home. So I think as far as like
Best place.
yeah. I mean, my commute takes me past my kitchen and my dog. So that's like, I'm down with that. But yeah, I think I knew that I could do this when I started to get a wait list. That's when I was like, I've got, the need is here.
Right. At what point did it take you to get there?
Maybe 5 years?
Okay, and you've been doing it for?
11.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you like working with?
I mean, I have my favorite genre of furniture. I mid-century modern and also antiques. I love my really, really old antiques.
What's the oldest antique you've gotten?
Oh, I don't know if I can really say. The most unique one, though, was a sofa. When I pulled out all the springs, I realized that it wasn't just like your typical webbing underneath. It was old apple crate slats that they had used in the Depression because they ran out of stuff to use, and so they used that instead.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
What was your most, that would be the most surprising. What was your fanciest piece of furniture to upholster?
Fanciest?
Or like something that was owned by someone, or an heirloom piece, or?
I mean, I've worked on so many interesting pieces. I've done, I've recreated 2 Nick at Night couches for Nickelodeon. I've done some amazing like womb chairs by Saarinen. I don't know. I don't know how to, there's so many.
Okay. What is next?
I've got some stuff in the works. Can't talk about it.
All right, cool. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Can't talk about it.
Okay.
I gotta keep some things in the wraps, man.
Is there anything you want to share that I forgot? I did get.
I don't know. I think, man, you've asked a lot of really good questions. I don't know.
That is the most overused phrase.
What, I don't know? Do I use that a lot? Do I?
Not really.
Okay.
Can we get a tour?
Sure. So I've got to unplug you here. Okay. So I don't know if you can, there we go. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. So that is my fabric library. It's tiny right now, but I don't know if you can actually see anything here.
Yep. See it all.
Okay, let me turn this way. So there's my foam. I've got my lights set up where you and I were sitting. So
Right.
It's a very tiny space, but it works.
That's all I need to do is work.
Yeah. Let me get you back around here.
All right, cool. Now, do you use a new sewing machine or old?
I have, so my sewing machine, it's a Consew 206 RB, and it's my favorite piece of machinery. I actually got it for free only because I was doing a job locally, and they delivered the sewing machine for me to work with it, and then they just never picked it up, ever. Like, I kept calling them and said, hey, I've got your sewing machine here. Please pick it up. And they didn't. And actually, that is also the catalyst into why I got into upholstery, because I had this machine here and I had the experience. So it just worked out really well.
Wait, so tell me about that. What job were you working on where they actually sent you a sewing machine to do it?
So locally, I am close to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg here in Tennessee. And there's a lot of, there's like I like to call it a tourist trap because that's what it feels like to me. There's a lot of theaters there and a lot of crazy, just weird things for people to do when they, vacation. And so a theater wanted me to sew some drapes for them because I also have experience with theatrical drapes. And so, they sent all the materials, all the red velour, the gold bullion fringe, and the sewing machine. And it just ended up staying here. So free machine.
How long have you been there?
I'm sorry?
How long have you had it?
Since in like the beginning of time, since like 2010, 2009-ish.
Wow. So that's like.
Oh yeah, it's mine. Oh yeah, they're not getting that back.
Unless they want to pay a huge storage fee.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I will rush back into the house for this machine. Like it is, if there's a fire, I love it to death. So yeah, and I've given them ample time to come and get it, but no, it's mine.
Do you often do collaborations?
Collaborations?
Yes.
With
other artists, other craftspeople?
Typically they're just a client. So I wouldn't say collaborations, no.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of difficult because my wait list is so far out that, like I'll get calls, hey, I want to do this, but they want it done by next month, which is just simply impossible. Especially like I don't want to screw my clients that have been on the wait list for such a long time just so I can work on something here. That old saying, like what their emergency does not create an emergency on my end, whatever that saying is. That's, yeah, you gotta plan.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've got that. Because some people come in and they put their stuff on you.
Yes. And it's unfair, the amount of stress that puts on you, and, it just really ruins your entire workflow.
Yep.
And it's disrespectful to the other clients.
I concur. All right, so I think we've covered it all.
Wonderful. Awesome.
I appreciate your time and your willingness to sit down and chat with me.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it.
And well worth the wait.
Yay, finally.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.